So come on in, take a sip. Let's wind down. It's hump day. Looking forward to this grid. Having myself a Negroni because it just sounded really good today. And the thing is, when I make a Negroni, it's about equal parts of gin and sweet vermouth with, maybe 2 equal parts alone of the Campari. I love the red stuff the most in this. It really is true. And I love all of it, and together it's great, but I like to emphasize my Negroni with extra Campari. And this is one of those cocktails that really feels like a fall cocktail, but it's really nice in the summer. It's really nice over Christmas. It's fantastic in the spring. It's a year-round cocktail. This wouldn't be a perennial or an annual. This would be an eternal cocktail. So good. Just so good. And the word of the day from dictionary.com was piranha. So we're not going to do that one. So we're going to do syzygy. Syzygy is one of my favorite terms because it just means more or less the direct alignment, like in a straight line of 3 or more celestial bodies. Okay, so you think, okay, well, let's just say that we had a straight-on shot. We could see like Mars and Saturn and Jupiter, and they were all kind of lined up. Okay, syzygy, great. But I like using it metaphorically for just when 2 or more things just kind of line up. That shouldn't necessarily line up, right? Like maybe your own personal yin and your yang, right? Like it's just kind of like, wow, that's my feminine side, my masculine side, or, I'm getting along with a certain politician. Like they say something, you're like, well, did I actually agree with them? Just say, wow, there's like syzygy in there or something like that. But it's a fantastic word, and it's really cool to spell. And I don't know that I've ever seen it in the New York Times Crossword. I have an idea for construction. And on this day in history, Charles Darwin, in 1835, made it to the Galapagos archipelago. And we all know what happened there. Amazingness. So that's really cool. And probably most importantly on this day in history, back in 1979, a little girl was born named Tiffany. It happens to be my sister. That was a pretty cool event too. She's done amazing things in her life. She really has. She was in the Navy. She did meteorology and stuff like that. She's super smart. Has a degree like for helping children and stuff, from Texas State University, I think. And well, she's a veteran. And she's a caregiver to all of our family, and she's my kid sister. So, to Tiffany, happy birthday, Ansel. Alles gut zum Geburtstag. So, a little bit more Solver's courage, and then we'll hop into our grid. But first, the posture. So go ahead and we've got, Tiffany, I love you. You're my favorite kid sister. Ansel, ich liebe dich so sehr in alles die Welt. So we have a Jackson Matz construction today for September 17th, 2025. And of course, edited by Will Short. So let's just hop in and see where we're going to go. State trees of North Dakota. And I think we get these an awful lot. And they are kind of hip right now. They're just popping into grids left and right. All over the place. How about the Elks Club? My opa was the president for a bit. I think they just take turns at the Benevolent and Proud Order of Elks in Parker, Arizona. And that was just a cool thing altogether. So, we went on some sort of trip every year. One year was Hawaii. One year was Mount Rushmore. We went to Canada one year. We've been all over the place. I mean, really, my grandmother, my Oma, and my Opa were determined that I would see all 50 states at some point. And I think I'm like at 48. So, I mean, I haven't been to Alaska or Maine. So, there. All right, so first in a line of 14 popes. Well, it's probably going to be Leo, since that's a very, very common pope name. And we'll go with the first here. And if I put an I in there instead. Actress Dunham, and I think that's Lena Brand, whose name is derived from the French phrase sans café. So, I think we're talking about, do you wanna Sanka? Family Guy. So, start of a joke, got a K and an N. How about a knock knock? Who's there? Interrupting cow. Moo. Yeah, that one. Okay, so variety could be an ilk. Some garage jobs, maybe lubes. Brooks and Dunn. There ain't nothing about you that don't do something for me. Ditto in footnotes. Probably edom. Literary download could be an ebook. I don't know. I don't do ebooks. I listen to a few audiobooks, but only if they're it's like by a journalist, or if it's a biography, something like that. I'll listen to it. I'm listening to a Jake Tapper book right now, and I'm known for that. I mean, I like to listen to that kind of stuff because to me it seems like just an extended podcast that's written by somebody. But when it comes to fiction, no, I gotta have an actual book in my hand, and soft cover preferably. I mean, gotta lug that sucker around, So, Kindle never made any money off of me, but She Who Must Be Obeyed, whose toes are visible there, right next to my arm. There they are, and they made a lot of money off of her, but not any money off of me, not at all. Anime style involving giant robots. And I blush to say I don't know much about it, but I think this is Mecha. Yeah, I don't know, between that and manga. But we got a lot of these stores around here, and I see them everywhere, so I kind of make note. Perfectly pitched. Well, I have perfect pitch. I was born with it. I don't think it's something that I was ever able to develop. But I think we're talking baseball here. Maybe a no-hit. So, go over lightly could be to skim. And vodka cocktails with orange liqueur and lime juice. And I think we would be talking about kamikazes. But how do you spell kamikaze, man? I don't remember. But we got Tia Maria, so we got Aunt Maria liqueur in here, so I think we got it. So kamikazes. All right, there we go. The very first advertising agency I worked at, I was shown around. Then I was shown to the bar, and the bar had everything there but vodka. Breakfast Club, and I was like, hey, so what's up with the vodka? I mean, I was a Scotch drinker at the time, so it didn't really matter. And, I was finishing college, as a matter of fact, started working there. And I was like, oh, okay, but what's up with the vodka and whatnot? I mean, I'd heard that they maybe lost the Stoli account or something at one point. They just vowed that they weren't going to have vodka, but that wasn't the case. The point is that the exact thing I was told is that everybody drinks in advertising. And this is back in the early 90s, and I guess it still made sense. I mean, it was still kind of like Don Draper world, in a way. I said, so, but, I'd rather the clients know you're drunk than think you're stupid. Because you can't really smell vodka like you could smell whiskey. And I thought that was just the funniest thing. I'm like, okay, so you can tell me I can sit here and just drink scotch all day. Yeah, you can. It enhances the creativity. Like, oh, okay, got it. If I drink one glass of scotch at 8 o'clock in the morning, I ain't doing nothing but drinking scotch the rest of the day. That's no bueno. So 68 down. Well, we'll get to that later. World Cup champs of 1978, 86, and 2022. And I bet that's Argentina. So I don't know. Let's see if this is a G. If it's a G, we can do it. Soothing home remedy for puffy eyes. And we've tried this. It turns out the best home remedy for that is getting a good night's sleep. I'm going to go with tea bags. Tea bag. So tea bags, that gives us our G. Now, is that an example? Is that an example of a cognitive bias? Absolutely. You know, I mean, it could be anything. It could have been, you know, Armenia or something, or Albania, right? You know, but I wanted it to be Argentina. So I found a word, tea bags, that would work. Maybe? I don't know. It's subconsciousness that we're really dealing with there, aren't we? Rock steady precursor, and I do believe we're talking about ska, one of my favorite styles of music. Elder brother of Moses. Okay, this is a prime example. People wonder, like, how do you memorize all of these different people? Well, I don't. I haven't, and I won't. But I have read the entirety of the Old Testament 3 times, if not 5 times. It depends on whether you count it in undergrad, where I had to read, but I was not reading it necessarily from front to back. Same thing with the New Testament. And after a while, you know, you kind of remember in there, oh yeah, maybe that was Aaron. Maybe that was Seth. Oh, Enos was there too. Oh, but what about Enoch? You know, you start to remember. Now I see 2 A's. Where do you think I'm going to go with that? So it's not about being some sort of brilliant guy that can just memorize stuff in photographic memory. That's not it at all. It's just being somewhat familiar and then remembering when you got a little bit in the grid. And that's what makes these things so amazing. Spanish rice. How about arroz? Very cool. And sound effect in a slapstick routine. Oh, I don't know. Maybe a bonk. Bonk. I'm going to go with a bonk. Let's check it real quick. Garden hose problems. Oh, kind of kinks. Could be problems in a marriage too, depending. Just saying. Measure up. Could be to stack up. And Olympian Carrie Strug. Oh yeah, you talk about some straight on talent there. Kitchen appliance brand. And I don't know. If I had to guess, I'd say Oster because of the S. Let's see. Body of policy advisors. If it is Oster, that would give me a T. And then that tells me this could be a think tank. And with that tank, let's start checking C, right? Don't want to. Shreds in winter sports lingo could be skis. Some ring decisions, almost always TKOs in these things, isn't it? Really loving could be into. And when Hamilton arrives in New York City in Hamilton, you know, I've only ever seen this on YouTube, but I have it saved and downloaded. I've watched it on several flights. That's that one thing you can have. You can always be guaranteed not to be interrupted by something like put your seatbelts on, bong bong, and all those little ding dong, ding, and all that. No, I can actually watch it and hear it and do what I want to do with it. So I'm going to go with Act 1 there. Joined as a table. I'm glad we had that TAT there. I would have been trying to see, well, how, would we have to fit it? We have to press it together, like you join the 2 ends with the new leaf in the middle? That would have messed me up. So, time when street lights turn on, probably dusk. And some bottled waters. This looks like it could be the Sunnies. I just can't drink flat water. Cannot do it. I gotta have the bubbles. Pressing could be dire. Fat chance. Ha! Yeah, dream on. Might have heard that a time or two from the person other than me in this room. Kitchen appliance brand, going with Oster now. I'm feeling really confident with that. Bird named for a Titan could be the Rhea. And take home, how about earn or net? Net. Let's see. One named Barbadian superstar, and I think that's Rihanna. How do I spell her name? I have no idea. Ear covering could be a husk. That is a clever one there, Mr. Matz. That's a clever one. Du bist zu schlau. Sehr intelligent. Ganz gut. Ganz gute Arbeit. Ja, genau. So now I think we got an R-I-H Anna, Rihanna. I think that's it. Contrite answer to who put the empty ice cream carton back in the freezer. I did. Or contrite? I did. Try that one. Let's see. A ripening agent. Okay, let's see. Regional life form. Maybe biota. So this could be an ager. Encouraged with on could be egged. I still don't understand that one. I have to remember to look that up and find out what is the etymology of egging someone on. Make it in a kid's game. Maybe tag, you're it. You got the cooties. I don't know what this could possibly be. So let's just hope we come up with something. Texters. Okay, OMG, got it. And enjoy could be to like. You know, not really into. Just like. Beatles, sobriquet. Sobriquet. Well, I thought they were the Fab Four. What do we got going on here? One might hit it or raise it metaphorically. No, that sounds like a roof. I feel like we do have a Fab here. Do we have a number 4 in there? I haven't seen that in a couple of years. Yeah, it's been a long time since I've seen an actual number in the grid. Awakening, slightly, a bit. Tad. Now let's go with A. Knowing what not to say. Can't think of anything that would be a B there off the top of my head, but I can think of a T, and that would be tact. I gotta check that though. Go pit-a-pat could be race. I would have never thought race if I didn't have the A just sitting there, right? You know, like, so that's another one. Cry of dismay. I got a tad here. Might as well get that in there. Classroom assignments. Apollo mission mementos could be moon rocks. Okay, I think we're on to something here. I think alternative to a strike. Cough, cough. Ahem, ahem. How about a sick out? That's fun. And enemy, agency, and get smart. Wow. Agent 99. Agent 86, chaos. That's right. And I think we have arousal here for an awakening, and we have a Fab 4, but I don't know what's going on there. So Grammy-winning Bruno Mars album of 2016, or a hint to an unusual feature of this puzzle's answer grid. Oh yeah. I downloaded this album immediately. And it works with the Fab 4 because this is 2-4K magic. And isn't it funny how the numbers in here look so pale and so weak in comparison to the bolder sans serif fonts that we have with the alphabet? It's nice. Yeah, so what's this 2 here? Like some short tennis matches. How about a 2 set? Very cool. Fun. This makes this desks. I'm liking this. Oh my gosh. Jackson Matz. This is, first of all, I love your name. I kind of wish I had been Christopher Jackson Scott instead of Christopher Arthur Scott. No offense to my godfather, but I did send him an email after my dad died, like 12 years ago. Never heard from him. So yeah, I'll swap Jackson for Arthur. Let's do it. Arthur for Jackson, however that's supposed to go. Legendary sea monsters. How about krakens? And I wasn't thinking of sea monsters. I was thinking of the label of that dark rum that I used to buy an awful lot of. The Kraken. Cred. Got it. Rep. And string tightener on a guitar would be a peg. But yeah, I don't know. I feel like it more belongs on a violin. It's like peg dope, that kind of thing. Actress Palmer of Nope. And I know this. This is Kiki, or KK. I'm not sure how to pronounce it. And for that, I apologize, but I do know the name. Title nickname in a classic 1984 sports film. This looks like it's the Karate Kid. And I guess I never really considered it a sports film. But yeah, I guess it would be a sports film, wouldn't it? Okay, well, that was weird. So Screwballs, probably Kooks. Is this an O? All right, already. I'll do it. Walk in here. Okay, got it. Very good. Screwballs, Kooks. And like a smart aleck, could be Sassy. And with 28 down, longtime McDonald's chief. Oh, Ray Kroc. Got it. You know, if you've ever seen a picture of that guy or read about his life, if you see that movie with Michael Keaton, it kind of makes you think like, ooh. Yeah, see the resemblance there, right? It's interesting. Edmonton athlete would be an Oiler, and director Kurosawa. I think that's Akita. Swedish coin would be a krona. And what do we got here? Caramel filled candies, Rolos. Outer's counterpart would be an innie. It's just kind of like I feel. You know, I was in the Army. Therefore, I spent a lot of time outdoors. And if I have to do something like that, I'm fine with it. But deep down inside, I'm an indoorsman. Very much an indoorsman. Very much. Punk or funk, love them both. Let's go with a genre. And hung on the clothesline, maybe dried. Pushing against a boundary, like this answer. Ooh, edgy. Hey, language. Comedian Joe. I'm thinking this Y here, though. This is it koi? Nursery song refrain, E-I-E-I-O. I do believe we've got koi now, and this looks like a trinket would be a knick-knack, paddywhack, give a dog a bone. And vape pen informally could be an e-cig. I don't know. I mean, I really wasn't paying attention. Hope we didn't fat finger something, but we probably did. How do we do, Bob? Woo! Probably by the hair of my chinny chin today, especially since I've yet to find a button hitting device that will play the Wilhelm scream whenever I fat finger something. I owe that to Queen Sue. Her Majesty awaits, and I'm doing my best to remember to get online and buy one. Busy days for me, but I'm going to get that done. Like I need an easy button that'll make the sound, but it needs to say something like oops and then play the sound. That's what I need. So I thought, first of all, this was really cool stuff. This knock joke and the kamikazes here. But then this right here, or a hint to an unusual feature of this puzzle's answer grid, 2-4K magic, and really good stuff. I love seeing that. Great to see the Fab Four in there anyway. I didn't, like I said, I did not think that Karate Kid was necessarily a sports movie, but I mean, that's exactly what it is, isn't it? I kickboxed and stuff as a child and into my teenage years, and perhaps a couple of times when I shouldn't have, probably landing me in the Hoosgow for a short period of time. I was a bit hot-headed as a child, but nevertheless, yeah, Hoosgow. Did I just say Hoosgow? Okay, why not? Okay, great. In the slammer. Yeah, I don't know. It's called 3 hours waiting on your wife to pick you up and then trying to explain how you're going to explain that. On the whole, this is just good stuff. I mean, what a fun grid. I mean, I'm telling you, Jackson Matz, you knocked it out of the ballpark. I mean, really, this is absolutely fantastic. And love seeing Argentina in there, too. It's pretty cool. Let's bring down our Banier Dadu and we'll call it good. So again, a very happy birthday to my baby sister Ansel. May you have many, many, many more of them. And until we see all of you tomorrow for the Thursday grid, and may there be rebuy galore. Rebuy. It's a movement. If enough of us start saying it, it'll make its way into the dictionary. And it'll be us. We will have coined that one. We will have made that possible. By a grant from the Carl B. and Florence E. King Foundation. Don't forget, our pledge drive is next week. Got tote bags. So until we see you next time, tomorrow, ich wünsche Ihnen einen schönen Tag noch. Auf Wiedersehen. Tschüss. Servus. Grüß Gott. Ciao. Cin-Cin. Be well out there. Be nice to strangers. And remember that those thick foreign accents that are hard to understand are being spoken by people who truly have hearts of lions. They have bravery. They have valor. They are courageous souls, because going and picking up and going to another country where you don't speak the language and you don't hold any currency, that takes moxie. So until we see you tomorrow, be well. Stay healthy. Cheers.